that he will definitely deliver. He's a man of wisdom, so much merit and credibilities and competence, and a person that has the country at heart, and a very generous person are here. And so we are waiting to see the man from Sanerugu take up a very, very good position to contribute to national development. And we will all support him.
Right. It can't be said any better than that. Alhaji Ibe Fuseini, of course, it's a Friday. It's really axiomatic that he'll join us. And of course, he has joined us. Alhaji, good morning and welcome to the show. I hope you're fine.
Good morning, bless. And good morning to your family. They say that the one in the mouth enables the one on the pot to cook well. If you don't have peace at home, I doubt whether you can come here every morning too. So while we extend our felicitations to you, we should do the same to the families and others who,
yeah, that's true,
in the background make this possible. Let me say a good morning to my very brilliant, energetic brother Ramsey here. Lest he be misconstrued as a lobbyist for my cause. I appreciate all the platitudes and others. I've always said that you don't show an indigent the way to his house. The thing that you know in the daytime, you don't light a torch to identify it in the night.
Yes.
And so I am very cognizant that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, visionary and dedicated and committed as he is, not just to the NDC but to the development of this country, knows exactly whom to pick when and where to, as it were, complement his team to reset and rebuild Ghana. And I'm sure that so far, I believe that many Ghanaians have applauded him for the choices that he's made so far. And I think that we all just have to be patient and wait and see when and where he thinks he wants people to be. And I believe that President Mahama will do that appropriately. And I just want to appeal to our brothers and sisters and everybody out there to exhibit patience and wait. And I'm sure that the right chips will fall in the right place. Let me say a good morning to our viewers out there who on a daily basis have contributed to making Pan-Africa the household word that it is today. And all of them, let me say good morning to His Excellency President Mahama and the family, Madam, and everybody, and to wish him God's blessings, guidance, and protection. You know, in this game, your own expertise and wisdom alone cannot save you. Cannot, as it were, enable you and anchor you to do right at all times. It is the guidance of Allah Almighty. And so on this very important Friday, Juma day, I pray that Allah imbue His Excellency the President with the requisite knowledge, strength, good health, and others to carry through the very arduous task the Ghanaian people have overwhelmingly conferred on him. Maybe at the risk of dancing myself lame before the real dance, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate some changes were made in Parliament yesterday. I'm sure you are aware that Honorable Mahama Yaraga, I think who is now in his fifth term in Parliament, is now the leader of the majority in Parliament and the leader of government business in the House. That is a very challenging responsibility. I know that what people may say that the task has been made less difficult because of the numbers in Parliament. But sometimes that is exactly where the problem is. When you seem to have more numbers, that's where sometimes complacency sets in. Some people will sit at the back and say, oh, others will go. And so in the end, you look at the majority and the numbers, and sometimes they can become the minority. And the minority can master the numbers, sometimes even more than the majority. So that is a real risk. And I want to call on my colleague, having been there before, colleagues on the NDC side, especially the majority in the backbench, to endeavor to take the work of the House very serious and endeavor as much as possible to be present in the House. So I'd like to congratulate Honorable Ayarga, Honorable Defiamapo, and Honorable the Cape Coast.
Yeah, Ricky
Sagan, Honorable Ricky Sagan, on the leadership. I'm sure that Honorable Doyo is still there, and my very good friend, my co-conspirator, Honorable Achampo, who also is the second deputy whip for the majority. I wish them all good, and I wish and pray that the caucus can be held together very, very solidly, like it was done in the previous
Parliament,
from the time of Honorable Haruna Idrisu to the time of Honorable Atufosin, who indisputably has transformed our caucus and brought us to the majority, and today is the finance minister. I want to commend and congratulate them again on their successful swearing in. Yesterday he went to meet the people at the finance ministry and outlined the vision, and I hope, and then also to the Ghana Revenue Authority, where there's some small controversy, but I just want to believe that everything there will be put in place to give him a very sound cooperation, so that our revenue generation can pick up greater steam for us to be able to raise revenue to develop this country.
Right. Thank you very much.
And then, Honorable Jinapo, I want to say yesterday I was privileged to be one of the early people to say hello to him in his office. And I can see that he's hit the ground running very hard. If you go to the energy ministry, he's already at meetings with the distance to push His Excellency, the President's charge on him to make sure that the lights are on throughout. And not only that, but we have even more than excess energy, sometimes to become a net exporter of energy. I'm telling you that Jinapo tells you that he's going to make sure that not only are we self-sufficient, but we will export energy to our neighboring countries rather than importing. And I hope that he is like, and the like of Honorable Eriko Poku, Honorable Abuja, all of them will deliver to public expectation.
Right. We'll get straight into today's conversation. Let me once again run you through the topics. Ghana appoints special envoy to Alliance of Sahel States. Parliament approved 6 more ministerial nominees. My government is not intolerant. Speak up when we go wrong. John Mahama. Mahama Ayariga takes over as majority leader. These are the topics that, once again, we are discussing for the morning. Be a part of today's conversation. Let's get into the very first one. We know the Alliance of Sahel States, Mali, Burkina Faso, and then Niger. All 3 countries having or being led currently by the military, or currently under military regimes, and they have decided to break away from the West African regional body, ECOWAS for that matter. They have formed their own alliance, the Alliance of Sahel States, and aside the fact that they've broken away from ECOWAS, they've also made moves to cut ties with their colonial, master, that is France for that matter. However, it appears that Ghana is hell-bent on having some very good relationship with these countries. I think on the 7th of January, when the president's swearing in happened, the Burkinabe president, he was in Ghana here to lend his support. I think we all saw it when he walked up to the dais to, greet the president. We saw the loud cheers and applause that he drew from the crowd that was there to witness the occasion. I want us to look at the significance of this move. The person who has been appointed as a special envoy to the Sahel states is no stranger to security issues in Ghana, Larry Bevlo Latte. He served as, National Security Officer in SWAL NDC administrations, and when it comes to diplomacy, he's been there and done that. I want to start with a man who I'm sure knows Larry Bevlo Latte very well, Alhaji Abi Hussaini. You are going to share your thoughts with us on Larry Bevlo Latte and what he brings to the table, the significance of this recognition by Ghana, the recognition of that Alliance of Sahel States at the time when it appears that the West African regional bloc, ECOWAS for that matter, has decided not to have anything to do with them. We, as a country, we come in and say, look, we want to, have some form of relationship with these countries. And so we are even going to the extent of, appointing somebody to deal with issues in relation to these 3 countries. I'll add your thoughts.
Thank you very much. First of all, it's always better to drive away the hyena before you blame the goat. And so I would want to start with the person involved, the person of Larry Bevlulati, Colonel. I want to first and foremost commend His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for giving that important responsibility to Colonel Bevlulati to discharge. Colonel Larry Bevlulati, many people don't know the other aspect of the diplomacy and the shrewdness and competence he carries in the diplomatic front. He's a very shrewd diplomat and a negotiator. And for those of us who have been privy to get a glimpse of who he is, I can tell you that the president could not have made a better choice. This is a man with immense military security, intelligence background. And his this from the 64 regiment through to the days when he became a national security leader under the NDC, previous NDC government. I can tell you without any iota of doubt that he contributed immensely to the stability of this nation. Through, like I said, his military, his intelligence, his diplomatic expertise that he brought to the exercise. The current, one of the most challenging issues in our sub-region is the issue of security and so-called jihadist threat. I'm sure the perception that it is not just even perception, but the reality that this threat had moved southwards and to engulf Burkina Faso, and even possibly not too long ago, I remember our national security advisor, minister, Kandapa, made a reference to the fact that even in our country, that threat was very ominous, and that they had
set up, see something, say something.
Exactly, because of the perception that some cells or some other potential threat was now in this country. After Burkina Faso, you know that the whole place already, some significant sections of the country are even not just threatened, but occupied by jihadists. Large sections of Mali and Niger are also under the stranglehold of the jihadist force. So I'm sure the most potent threat is that issue of the stability of our region and of our countries. And so Ghana cannot rest easy when this thing is has not only engulfed our nations, but has been seen to have even entered some parts of our country. Except that by the grace of Allah, we have not yet experienced any attack that would give us cause for concern. But I pray to Almighty Allah that it doesn't happen. But it takes not only prayers, but you have to act, to work. I was not very easy when ECOWAS expelled or suspended the membership of the 3 countries, that is Burkina, Niger, and Mali. Yes, I know that they're using this protocol on military intervention and the sanctions that apply following the military takeover of those countries. But given where we are, I thought that we would have exhausted fully the diplomatic option to ensure that we exerted some pressure, but nevertheless did not use the stick. Because it's always better to wield the stick as a threat and not actually use it and then get the results. But the moment you use the stick and the results are not gotten, you are finished. You have exhausted all your distance, and that is where I found that problem. And so, for us in Ghana, we have no alternative, bless, than to work with the three countries. We have borders. We are neighbors, and we have a long border with Burkina Faso, and the influence of Niger, which is close by, as well as Mali. So there can't be any issue of allowing the antagonism to fester to a point that we are very hostile, antagonistic neighbors. I think that will be counterproductive to our status in Ghana here as a haven of peace and stability in the turbulent West African sub-region. So clearly, I think that one of the tasks that Colonel Bevlolate will have to accomplish is to ensure, apart from dealing with this jihadist threat, to see whether we can have at least normal or semi-normal relationship with our neighbors. Normal in the sense that the relationship will be one that is thriving. And I have always said it that if some of us have our way, these artificial borders that have been drawn, for me, will be taken away, because it is one of the barriers to the free movement of people, goods and services in our sub-region. You can see that ever since the enunciation of the ECOWAS ideal in 1975 to today is about 49 years or 50 years today. After 50 years of the enunciation of the ECOWAS ideal, the very fundamental basis of free movement of integration, the very bare minimum basis for integration, free movement of people, goods and services. It's very difficult in West Africa.
Yeah.
We will not be able to achieve that. You just stand here and you want to go to Togo or move goods and services to Togo from here. It's a hell. Not to even talk of the numerous extortion barriers erected in the way to frustrate this integration which we all need. So for me, it is one of the cardinal things that we need to step up. And I would want to believe that Colonel Bevlolate's expertise, not just in the military field, but also in intelligence and diplomacy, will be brought to bear. I have seen even at the level of our party, the NDC, how he has used his negotiating skills to resolve many very thorny issues in the party and ultimately in the country when he functioned earlier in his earlier appointments. And so I am very confident that he will bring that expertise to bear on this appointment, because our continuous peace, order and stability is a sine qua non for the economic development and the resetting agenda His Excellency President Mahama wants to undertake. We cannot be talking about resetting and getting this country to work again when there is an ominous threat hanging on our heads like the sword of Damocles from these other neighboring countries. And so if it is possible, I'm sure that we should do everything in our strength to have that very good neighborly relations with the three countries. And I will advocate that even Ghana can begin to play the lead role. Ramsey, I believe that it is not lost. I believe that we can still have a way in which these three countries can be brought back. Because I am of the legendary Osajefu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's vision that the unity of Africa is a sine qua non for the liberation of our continent from poverty and underdevelopment. Without the continental union government that Osajefu preached and espoused and lived for, I am telling you that we are living a life of illusion. No single African country, and I say it every day and I will continue to say it, no single African country standing on its own has an iota of chance to make progress in this globalized world that we operate today. And I said, bless, Ghana competing against the EU, it's a joke.
Yeah.
You don't have the chance.
No.
Even Ghana competing against the UK or France or Germany.
That's one. You
are so disadvantaged.
Yeah.
Now you are this is against a colossus.
A monolithic, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see, all of them, if you look at the global arena, they are coalescing. NAFTA in the North America, ASEAN in the Asian countries, and others. And then you have an Africa that is so balkanized. and even more balkanization. You have even in the various countries, civil wars and others, splitting the country into smithereens. So I honestly have a hope and believe that, notwithstanding the declaration of the Alliance of Sahelian States, because of ECOWAS expulsion of those countries from their midst, it is still possible for us to move away from the brink and enter into a series of negotiations where it is possible to bring back the three countries. And I believe that Bevululate's lesson can open up the chapter. Ghana can exploit that relationship. And I'm very happy that, especially with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, they look up to Ghana as the beacon of hope in the sub-regional integration that we have, notwithstanding whatever differences they may have. So I think that this appointment could be the catalyst that will help speed up the process for the resolution of the differences between ECOWAS and the three Sahelian countries, so that together we can all function once again and begin to work more to consolidate and live for the removal of our borders. There was an issue of this border thing in Parliament, and I made a statement, and some people were not happy with it. When I said that I was not interested in us consolidating borders, because you have a border commission where you have to go and make sure that you erect barriers and others to stop your other African brothers from coming into this. I don't subscribe to that view. I think that the answer, the panacea to our economic woes is the eradication of the borders, so that Africans can move freely, Africans can trade freely, Africans can coalesce, Africans can integrate their resources. Because, bless, the irony is too much, where we have Africa as the richest continent and Africa featuring the poorest people on the face of the earth. That tragedy is an insult to our people.
Right.
And I think that the panacea for me is that integration. And
right.
so I want to wish Kenneth Bevululate very well, and to wish him God's guidance, blessings, to work to ensure that not only would he achieve stability, peace and order for our country, but the sub-regional agenda and Africa's agenda will be taken on board in this matter.
Right, thank you very much. Let me now come to you, Dr. Ramsey Yunusa.
Yes, I believe Honorable Ebi Fuseni has said a lot that is in line to what I have already. But what I want to say is that Bob Marley in his song, Africa Unite, said, and I quote, that how good and pleasant it would be before God and man to see the unification of all Africans. Plus, I believe in the spirit of Nkrumah when he said that the independence of Ghana is meaningless until the total liberation of all African countries. Today, what is happening across our West African sub-region is quite inimical to our regional integration and, of course, our collective efforts to be able to mitigate the risk of extremist groups that are growing at a faster rate in these countries that have formed the Sahelian Alliance. The president's appointment of Colonel Bevululate to be a special envoy is nothing wrong, and I want to commend President Mahama for that. You quite remember in 2023 or 24 thereabout, the Nigerians appointed their former head of state, General Abdul Salami, to go to Niger. Yes, General Abdul Salami Abubakar, who was head of state from 1998 to 99 after the era of Sani Abacha, went to Niger to see how best he could renegotiate the issues happening in Niger and bring them back on board. And of course, it's the same thing. Colonel Bevlolate is an ex-army man. The military, they speak one language, and they know themselves, and he's a diplomat for that matter. And so I think that it's in the same tenets of the formation of the West African bloc. I think that, as Honorable Ebie Fuseni reiterated, we should have exhausted the diplomacy angle and dialogue to be able to solve the crisis, rather than pushing for a harsher sanctions and then even trying to form an alliance of military to try and infiltrate these countries and reinstate the deposed presidents. And so I believe that if we are able to extend a hand through diplomacy to these states, I mean, we were the early critics of them. We criticized the junta, but today I have to swallow my humble pie. Bless. I have to swallow my humble pie because General Chiani in Niger has renegotiated the uranium deal with France, and today their economy is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. Burkina Faso, on the other hand, are investing heavily in agro-business. That today they are processing the tomatoes that they even export to Ghana, right? This leader, what's his name, Assimi Goïta of Mali, has renegotiated the mining agreements with Barrick Corporation, which is one of the largest gold mining companies in the world. And for that matter, he has saved the country a lot of funds, right? And he has brought in lots of revenue into the coffers of the Malian government. And so we want to commend them for their Pan-Africanist stance. And that is what we want to see. Our leaders across the continent today do not have the tenets and the visions and ideals of the founding fathers of their various countries. I'm talking about the Sékou Touré's, Modibo Keita, the Kwame Nkrumahs. We don't see that anymore, right? They are not patriotic. They don't believe in those visions that Africa should unite and Africa should be for Africans, and the benefits of the lands and the resources of Africa should be for the people and not for anybody. You understand? And that is why Kwame Nkrumah in his book has warned us of a new imperialist agenda. That is why today, if one of the greatest achievements these people can enact is the removal of the currency, the CFA. The CFA being used by these francophone countries is a shame on the vision of Africans to be independent, because the central bank of France is the one managing the rates of the CFA, for God's sake. And this is I thought that ECOWAS should have even worked, because ECOWAS was trying to introduce a currency. ECO. What happened to that? What happened to that? What happened to that? They did not channel their energies to fight the agenda to suppress them introducing the ECO, but to rather chase your fellow Africans out of the bloc because you do not agree with how some of them rose to power. Fair enough, we believe in the tenets of democracy, but there were pressing issues. And I must say this, and Honorable, we have to be very, very careful. Something happened during the inaugural ceremony of President Mahama, where Ibrahim Traoré had the largest applause. What does that mean? And most of the people that were there were Ghanaians. Does it mean that the ground is fertile for such actions in Ghana? I mean, I've spoken to some security experts, and they have also shared the same sentiments, that if indeed a military ruler who is just at the borders of Ghana, a neighboring country, comes into Ghana and receives such massive cheers and applause, does it mean that it is signaling to our military that, hey, maybe the ground is fertile for something if there is some form of bad governance? God forbid, but I mean, that is the analysis.
Is it not the charisma the person carries, especially if you take cognizance of the
Yes.
fact that in Ghana, Sankara before him
Yes.
had that charisma, and there were many Ghanaians
But-
who
but-
loved
but-
more
but-
of the personal charisma than.
But Honorable, you know why I will not agree to that, because Dumbuya was there as well.
Yes, so,
Dumbuya.
yes, so it must be
Dumbuya did
person.
not receive such
So it was
applause.
the charisma of the person.
But I think that it's
Proximity also counts.
no, but bless. It's because of what he has been able to achieve.
Exactly.
Oh,
Bless.
that's
I mean,
also counts,
the news of Burkina Faso is flying high in Africa. What Traore is doing in his country is quite significant,
I agree.
right?
If we down to the man.
And of course, we have, I mean, everybody who is in Ghana, who understands and knows the history of Burkina Faso, would always, align themselves to Sankara. You understand? We have always grown listening to the history of Burkina Faso. We've always held Sankara in high esteem. I quite remember when Sankara was assassinated, one of his generals had to leave Burkina Faso and find shelter in Ghana. My father was the one that hosted him here in Abelempe.
Wow.
Yes, I quite remember. And so we are pulled to the spirit of Pan-Africanism, and we believe that Traore has taken the right step and direction. But I'm calling on President Mahama. He has taken a bold and good step in creating a portfolio to try and see how best he can bring back these three countries that have formed the alliance within the Sahel region. And we hope that collectively, as ECOWAS member states, we can be able to resolve our dialogue, resolve our issues through dialogue. I mean, the West is happy with whatever that is happening to us today. They do not want to see us have that ultimate cohesion as Africans, right? The introduction of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area alone is even a threat to the WTO, which they have much power under the WTO to manipulate trade policies across the world. The AFTA is one of the largest trade blocs after the WTO. And so we are hoping to see that ultimate unification of Africa. Nkrumah said it. We didn't take it serious. But today we are seeing this importance. Look at how Europe is strong as a bloc. Look at how the Asian countries are very, very strong as a bloc. And we are nowhere near these countries, bless. And so I hope to see Burkina, Mali, Niger come back to ECOWAS so that we can have that harmony as neighbors and as Africans, and we can see the development of our regional bloc and succeed economically.
All right, thank you very much. Let me say a hearty good morning to our very own Sakasalia, who's just joined us. Yes, Sakasa, what's accounting for the morose look on your face? You look morose.
My phone just fell down, and then
The man
the question
He said his phone just fell down.
The question
But he has no problem.
no, the it's about whether how to get the topics to even or even to get some news or whatever.
But we are discussing.
Yeah, so
We are talking about the alliance of Sahel states and the fact that Ghana has appointed a special envoy in retired Larry Bevlolati to see to some multilateral relationship between Ghana, Niger, Mali, and then Burkina Faso. Your thoughts?
yeah, thank you very much. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning to my co-panelists, Elijah B. Fuseni. I'm sure very soon we'll be congratulating you.
We hope so.
Allah Almighty.
Yeah. You people also help them.
Well, who's calling?
Anyway.
Did they help them? I want to ask you, did they help them?
Yeah, they have them.
So there's an admission.
Yeah, they have them.
Okay.
Who is them?
They know themselves.
Propaganda. Yes,
That's okay. Like Kwame Usuda, so you're running me to get some serious position. Yeah.
I mean, President Mahama
And
his promise of an all-inclusive government. So in that sense, in that vein, we hope that yes, everybody will come on board for the good of Ghana, including yourself.
So that when Kwame get, you can be
including yourself. Including yourself.
I don't need any position from NDC government.
To serve the people of Ghana?
No.
So it is party.
I don't need position to serve.
It is party over country. It is party over country. I see.
I don't need it. NDC grassroots will be what they are doing to.
You are not doing inclusivity.
Mr. Dr. Fianco. He's been appointed at the
NCA.
What is
NCA National Communications Authority.
NCA.
No.
Look at the NDC people all over the place.
No, NDC people are nobody.
That they won't accept. As if the man is not a Ghanaian. I don't get this.
Did you do any inclusive when you were
I don't get them.
for your 8 years?
I have NDC.
Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Because of your attitude.
I don't know why Ghanaians actually voted for them, but anyways, it's another.
You don't know why Ghanaians.
I'm telling you.
After they have sent you to a position, you have to go and sit down and
do some
Your general secretary is going around begging. Your general secretary is going around begging. And you are here.
Begging who? Begging.
You are still arrogant.
Okay, now let me talk about this Sahel too. Sometimes when I sit down and look at things, I wonder whether Africa will be united, ever will be united, and especially people who do commentary and leadership. This Sahel, what is the name? The Alliance of Sahel States. I don't know whether every African state has an envoy to that group. Do we?
I don't think so. Nigeria appointed, that's why you chose General Abdullah Salam, but that was strategically to Niger.
Okay.
So they have appointed.
Nigeria and Niger
yes.
No,
they appointed him to do what?
As a conduit for diplomatic dialogue.
Yeah.
No, so that one is he's a rep to go and then talk to them. It's not I see
to promote good neighborliness.
Yes.
No, it's to bring them, not to go
and enhance positive neutrality in diplomacy.
You see, the problem I have is that these people are the pariah of the African country, and especially they serve as the reason why Africa should not unite. Because why am I saying that? We all yearn for the unity of Africa. At least we have certain blocks. And our block is the ECOWAS. ECOWAS has protocols. And those protocols must be adhered to by every state. And one is the ECO that we were talking about. The ECO you were asking, so what happened to the ECO? I mean, you are asking the audience to tell you what happened to the ECO. You see, you should be able to tell them what happened. It is because we couldn't meet a lot of the criteria that was set. We have the primary and the secondary criteria. Even the primary criteria, we couldn't meet them. Ghana met some. I mean, 3 out of 5. The secondary criteria, we couldn't meet them. I mean, a lot of countries couldn't meet because of some of these things. Because we don't govern well. Our economies has not been able to. We have not been able to propel it to the level that we can get certain things, like single-digit inflation and all those things. We're unable to achieve all those things, and therefore it makes it difficult for us to all have a single currency. But the francophone, I mean, the CFA, with all its disadvantages or whatever, but I think the advantages outweigh that of the disadvantages. We are here suffering every day with the decline or with the depreciation of our CD, inflation and everything. Go to the francophone countries and ask them whether there has been inflation, whether no. After depreciation, it will okay. But why would a depreciation of some 0.0 something do to a country? If you compare that one with Ghana, that at a point we even had inflation of 54%. Those people, you let me finish, please. I mean, when they even have the highest inflation in those areas, it's not even up to 10%. I'm telling you, sometimes it can remain a single-digit inflation, like below 5% for decades, all because they have the France, managing their reserve for them and all those things. So I'm not saying it's perfect. It doesn't matter whether indictment or not, because we as a continent have not extricated or weaned ourselves completely from the apron string of our colonial masters, even in Ghana, because we are still detected by some of the policies of the Commonwealth. So it is about cooperation. It's not as if because it's not as if because you had your independent, everything has to be no. If you go to other jurisdictions, so you feel no, you should be surprised. So I'm saying that instead of us to be angry with what this Sahelian people, what's the name? Alliance for Sahel group are doing, we are goading them on by our pronouncement. Yeah, because others are also angry with them. Because look, that is the reason why I said that we have blocks like with our protocols, and the protocol says that all of us has to go democratic. Every country has to be governed by democratic, the will of the people, just like what Ghana did, for which reason we are expecting Alhaji to congratulate him. Every country within the sub-region is to go democratic. And if you have grievances, there are checks and balances. There's constitutionalism, where there could be checks and balances for every country. So, and if your grievances is such that a change of government is needed, it is through the ballot box. It's through the ballot box, the thumb, and not the gun. But some group of people, that is the reason why I call them the pariah, decided that they will go against those protocols. They will do whatever they want. They will wake up and decide to topple the will of the people. And then we are here saying that, oh, Africa unity and some group of people are dividing it. And we are happy with them. These people need to be isolated, need to be sanctioned, so that to serve as deterrent to any other, junta that will wake up one day and say that I'm going to overthrow a government because I'm not happy with what they are doing. If you are not happy, there are channels that you have to pass in order to see the back of that particular government. So for me, I don't see why anybody will even come here, or anybody will even, send an MY there, to go and do what? Instead of sanctioning and ensuring that these people, their minds are channeled to democratic means. Instead of us letting them know that what they did is an aberration to our effort of uniting Africa. Then what is it? We have become friends with them without reviewing whatever they are doing over there. Letting them, walk all over the place. I think that is the reason why I told you that it will be difficult for Africa to unite, because we are not principled enough, we are not disciplined enough. People can go out of their way to do anything outside the protocol. And when they want to sanction, that is the reason why you remember when ECOWAS was saying that they were military option. They were thinking of military option to ensure that these people come back. I was supporting them, because by now, if we had done that, we will force everybody, and people who will be thinking that way, that let's go, what do you call it, military, they would eschew that, because we would have served somebody as a scapegoat. But where we don't have that discipline, we don't have that temerity, that unity of purpose to enforce disciplinary procedure or disciplinary action against deviants. This is what happened. I'm telling you, tomorrow, people will take inspiration from this Burkina, Mali, and all those things, and then they'll do worse things. My brother was sitting here saying that the Burkina president had the applause, the highest applause, and that means that the grounds are fertile. What grounds are fertile? And what grounds are fertile?
Right.
We should not even bring people's mind to some of these things.
I said there was an analysis from a
So which security aspect? Which security aspect? That's because somebody is wearing military regalia and he's showing off and all those things. Ghanaians.
So I appreciate this analysis.
I mean, when you wear things and you look different, people, they know
him. They know him.
How many people know him? How many people know him?
So he's very popular.
It is because of the way he dressed differently from everybody. It's because of the way, the things that he put on, the gun, all those things.
I see.
That is exactly what they don't say. Let him land. No, I cannot land.
No, I want you to land.
No, I will not land.
You want to say that?
I'm not going to land. I'm not going to land.
Don't land. Stay. Unless you whether you suspend.
Saka, you want to say that people are applauding him?
Don't land.
Where myopic and so did he? By seeing justice.
But how did he even come to that conclusion that he had the highest of the applause? How did he come to that? Why was that? Why was the claim? Why should I even go there? Why should I even go there? So I'm saying that, look, we want to build a nation, we want to build a continent, and therefore they should be fast and hard rule as to where we want to go, and the lines that will be drawn. If you cross the line, there should be penalty.
Right.
People are crossing it with reckless abandon, and then we have leadership say that, okay, let's send some envoy to them, and how? And you want to reach? No, please.
Thank you very much, Saka Sania.
You see what? I feel very sad about Saka, because Saka is a brilliant mind. But you see, it's down to the realization. The Gombers have a saying that you don't see the guinea fowl in flight and the offspring will be walking. In other words, when the guinea fowl is flying, the offspring will also fly with the parent. These are a bunch of people, these same UP people.
So your guinea fowl.
They sent a delegation to the Queen. You remember?
They were with their
when Osajefu had propelled this country towards independence. In fact, we should have actually had independence in 1954 or 1956. These people sent these Saka's 4 best.
Send what?
They sent a delegation to the Queen to tell the Queen that why are you people in a hurry to leave us? We are not mature to look after ourselves. That is what he just said just now. This man.
That what?
This man sitting here, Saka, has just said that we are not mature to look after ourselves.
Oh. Distorting
and
what
that
I said.
Independence. That is what you have just said.
What did I say?
That is what you have said. Inferior. You have painted inferior picture of Africa. No, but you said because stay with France. You are telling us about it. I want you to say statement. No, I want you to quote Saka. No.
You were mentioning about the positives.
This about being with France. And why France has guaranteed that why France has guaranteed their problem. I want to point that to you.
So we are not good enough to manage.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that even with France managing their career.
Yes, they're better off with France.
Better off than some of.
That's what we are trying to say. And I'm proving you wrong.
We are managing our own.
And I'm saying that you are wrong. You are dead wrong.
So this is stronger than your secret.
You are dead wrong.
True or false?
I'm just saying that you are dead wrong.
The safer is
I'm
stronger than your
indicating to you that I'm just indicating to you.
They don't experience
that kind of thinking you are executing here is a sorrowful comment on us as Africans.
This propaganda
that you are not doing. The same thing your forebears led by K. Buzia to go to the Queen and tell the Queen that why are you in a hurry to leave us? We are not mature to look after ourselves. Stay and take care of us. That same mentality is what we are exhibiting today. Today, I am telling you that go to Burkina Faso and talk to Burkinabes. They will tell you that they are getting better off than they were under the tutelage of France. How come that all of a sudden, all of them are asking France to take away their military bases? They don't like it again. If they were comfortable with that sort of life, you think they'll be asking them to go? You don't know that. You don't know that.
Ivory Coast has expelled the French troops.
You don't know that. You see, so look, I am just saying that. Look at the lives of the Francophone people. We just talked about Niger.
Niger, yeah.
Where they were buying their uranium for a pittance.
Yes.
Today, they are able to gather enough resources and go to Niger and see the development project.
Yes.
The Niger government is doing to better the lives of the Nigerian people.
Absolutely.
Where is he?
Absolutely.
So who is good?
Okay.
That's what you're saying.
We are talking about the quality of leadership. We are not talking about just coup.
So
we are talking about the qualitative leadership.
To do coup and come.
Like President Mahama has come. You see, you see the improvement in the lives of Ghanaians.
But we saw this.
8 years. That's why Ghanaians went back for President Mahama.
That gave us 4 years of doing so.
Ghanaians went back for President Mahama.
He's a man that did a lot of
so he sorted himself before he left. President Mahama sorted himself before he left.
This man came
that's why you
this man came and stole our economy
so massively.
You're talking like
of our country's history has any government lost power like
you want us to talk about
in such a disgraceful manner.
This man,
he has beaten you.
This man is not
unprecedented.
Beat him before.
Unprecedented.
We beat him twice.
He beat you twice before. Before the President Mahama beat President Akufo-Addo twice before. In 2008, President Mahama was on the ticket. 2008. Yes, 2008.
Was he on the ballot?
I'm telling you.
Was he on the ballot? Was he on the ballot?
And I'm saying that.
I'm asking you, was he on the ballot?
I'm saying that in 2000.
Was he on the ballot?
2008.
Was he on the ballot?
First.
Then Bawumia also beat him twice.
Which one? He was on the ticket.
So Bawumia beat him.
So President Mahama was on the ticket to President Mills. Have you forgotten
like that?
You see. So let me make this point.
You cannot make that point.
You see. So I'm just saying that. So if you have the likes of Saka thinking like this,
thinking like what?
Where is the hope for this country? Look at him.
Thinking democratic.
Thinking that
you are saying thinking
now they are extolled. These are the people who extol the white man to the status of God. They think that they have seen God. And so for that matter, his destiny rests in the hands of those people. So why are they in a hurry to leave us? Right. The same mentality. Very sad.
You are thinking coup d'etat. I'm thinking
very sad.
I'm not interjecting.
Yes, to add to what honorable
you see, and you know, let me just add on this point. Democracy is a process. Democracy should be an instrument for the liberation of the people from poverty, underdevelopment, and oppression.
Corruption, yeah.
Okay?
Corruption.
Yes.
That's corruption.
So, if democracy itself becomes decadent, moribund, and is not fulfilling the ends for which it was supposed to be instituted, there must be an alternative.
Which is cool.
And that's what I'm indicating.
So make your words clear.
You can't put words in my mouth.
What alternative are you talking about?
You can't put words in my mouth.
What is the alternative?
The alternative is with the people.
Which is?
The people, and whatever instrument the people decide. And so that's what I'm indicating to you. That's what I'm indicating to you. So I'm saying that to the extent, you see, and it tells why they are where they are.
No problem.
Because of the arrogance and insensitiveness of them to the plight of the people. They will stay there for a very long time.
Right.
Because they are not amenable to learn. Today, I thought that he would have learned that what Ghanaians have been done to them is sufficient for them.
1 minute. Dr. Ramsey, 1 minute.
They are repeating the mistakes that set you to the humiliation you saw.
1 minute. Saka. Alaji. We are going on break. Let's go for a quick montage break. We'll come back. Thank you.
The law is pertinent to every aspect of our lives, and so lawyers must not be the backup plan for the rainy day only.
Nothing received from a client should be put in a lawyer's personal account until such time that the money has actually been earned.
It is very dangerous to perpetuate the theory that it is narcotics that leads to crime increase.
The relevance of the law cuts across our business, social, and family transactions. Doubt this?
You can't borrow from somebody who's your client. That would lead to a conflict situation.
Welcome back. Still to come, Parliament approved 6 more ministerial nominees. My government is not intolerant. Speak up when we go wrong. This coming from President John Dramani Mahama, and Ed Mahama Ayariga takes over as majority leader. Let's quickly look at the newly approved. When I give you your time, you can know the time. When I give you your time, no, respectfully, no, respectfully, no. So when is your no? You have distorted. No. Let's proceed. So we have 6 more. Yes, we have 6. When there are any more, see, Dr. Ramsey, the time is still going. As we go back and forth, the time is still going. I understand. As we go back and forth, the time is still going.
People, when they can't stand that argument, they convert it into a fight.
Right. Let's proceed. There are 6 more approved ministerial nominees. Parliament has approved them. The appointment committee of Parliament has approved this 6 ministerial nominees, and that includes our very own Emilia Arthur. For those of you who do not know, Pan African TV, we have some, ties with the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture designate, Madam Emilia Arthur, and there are a few others also in there. We shall be looking at what they bring to the table. I mean, for the mere fact that they've gone through that process and then they've been approved. I mean, for the mere fact that they've gone through that process and the appointment committee has seen them worthy of approval, I think, I have little to say about it. I'd rather see them do the work than just what they'll come to say at the appointments committee. But I'm starting with Alhaji ABF Husseini. I mean, for the mere fact that these are his people. These are his people. Alhaji ABA, is there any appointment is there any particular one that excites you so much, that you have so much confidence in this person that this person can do the job? And do you have any personal reservations as well with regards to
NDC? As we have always said, we have the men. We are not like some people who have the men and you give them the job and they are hopelessly incompetent and incapable of performing.
10 minutes each, by the way. 10 minutes each, by the way.
Let me first comment His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for fulfilling one of the important commitments and promises he gave the good people of this country. He indicated that he was going to function with 60 ministers. Undoubtedly, the leanest government, perhaps, after the Fourth Republic, is the leanest government in the Fourth Republic and one of the leanest in our country's history. And this shows that President Mahama is a man who keeps his word. In government, keeping the covenant you enter into the people is of cardinal importance. And that is why President Mahama is miles light away difference from the hopelessly inept, bankrupt, corruption-ridden, and insensitive Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia government that he inherited. And clearly, it has widespread implications for our exchequer, for our public treasury. By cutting down on these large numbers, compare, look, it's even less than half what Nana Akufo-Addo used. At a point, Nana Akufo-Addo used 127 ministers. 127 ministers. More than twice what President Mahama. So it means he has cut the government into even less than half. Can you fathom even the savings that this government has made? Ab initio. It's not true. Ab initio. So this is it. I'm sure he has cut the ministries from 30 to 23, and now followed it up by fulfilling his promise of 60 ministers. He has not yet done 1 month. He is just into his 3rd week, and he has already started fulfilling what some people have not done in 8 years. So you are even making comparison of 2 weeks against an 8-year-old government where they even woefully failed to fulfill their promises. Okay, so this, and now look at the competence of the people. KCL are too forcing. In fact, when they brought it, even the MP people they even took the to praise even Atu forcing even more than even NDC people on the floor, because they had known Atu was a deputy minister for finance, okay, and performed to public expectation. But more in parliament, when we went into the minority, and for 8 years he served as the ranking member on finance. Most of the finance committee work, and if you can go and ask your people, all the time they brought matters to the finance committee, all of them would defer to Atu, because Atu is not only qualified. If you see his doctorate and others in taxation and others, he's an accomplished personality in taxation policy and others. They listen to him when he's talking. The MPP people, they listen with rapt attention.
The others, they don't listen.
I'm saying that they listen with rapt attention. The attention differs. Okay, you are tempting me. You see, so clearly. No wonder at his vetting, you know, even though they give reverence to leadership, and leadership has not that normally does not spend more than 45 minutes to 1 hour. It took him almost 5 hours because they continually wanted to listen to him. They were yearning to listen to Atu, so they couldn't find a way in which they would trap him with issues, so that in fact, anytime they even brought issues, he answered them more to their disbelief and their admiration, that they thought they should continue the conversation. They didn't want the conversation with him to end. So was it with Jinapo. He extolled issues that all of them in the power sector, and brought to the fore all the lies they were telling about Dumso and others, which was solved long before even President Mahama left office. In fact, the whole of 2016, there was no Dumso. The matter had been comprehensively resolved, to the point that even the MPP themselves said President Mahama has brought in more power generation and that we have more power than we need. So how can you have more power than you need and she say you complain of Dumso? How can you be living by the banks of a river and wash your hands with spittle? So clearly, I'm sure that they know. So I can tell you the NDC is overflowing with talent. Honorable Adonai DC is going to education. He's going to do a wonderful job. Like I said of Honorable Jinapo, like I said of Koku. Look, I have never seen anywhere where they are vetting a nominee. And the leader of the opposition and the opposition people are saying, Master, don't give us details, because your details are they are too they are hitting us too much. So don't go into the details. Just scratch the surface. Because I expect that you are probing the man for the details so that you can understand the competence he's carrying to the distance. Eric Opoku exhibited such competence that the minority were running away from even allowing him to go on when he was elucidating on some of the answers he gave. So the NDC is overflowing with talent, and I have no doubt in my mind that inshallah they are all going to perform to public expectation, especially when your leader himself has exhibited that humility. President Mahama, with his humility, has cancelled all his appointees. That the NDC, unlike the MPP, will not tolerate an iota of arrogance. That is why he has said, look, criticism must come. We are not going to be like the MPP, where they transform themselves into demigods, that they are omnipotent, they are infallible, they don't make mistakes. When they make mistakes and you want to correct them, they will come at you with a sledgehammer. President Mahama has said that NDC leaders are human beings. They are fallible, they are prone to make mistakes. And when they do make those mistakes, and Ghanaians have a bona fide right to comment, they should listen. This is the qualitative difference between the government of President Mahama and the insensitive MPP, which was completely opaque and did not want to listen to the genuine criticisms. Today, Charles and headmasters and others, they have rediscovered their voices. They are talking. But and the MPP, one of them attempted, I think they took him to where? Bugru. Where did they take him to? Where the headmaster? You see, they would deal with you ruthlessly. They would exert some sanctions and punishment on you, said that the rest will feel intimidated and not want to talk. So the government of President Mama, taking off as it does impressively, says it will listen to Ghanaians. And bless, I'm very happy for that, because we are human and we are prone to make mistakes. Those in authority will make mistakes, and they should be humble enough to, as it were, accept the decision. I think that my problem is the pace of the vetting. Sometimes spending 4 or 5 hours on one person, you know, sometimes doesn't give the opportunity, because those 4 or 5 hours could have been used to even vet 3 people. And so President Mama needs the full complement of his government to carry out the daunting task of rescuing this country from the doldrums that we are coming from. And so I would want to urge the vetting committee to endeavor to streamline, and also to sometimes there's some unnecessary banter. The unnecessary banter that goes on, where you instead of going directly to the mandate that is conferred on you, you are almost going to convert it into the status of a press conference, where tangential issues are also brought in to obfuscate the issues. I think that clearly it is not something that will inure to our benefit, and I think that President Mama, by the close of the day, will fulfill. I'm sure you are already aware. He's indicated that all the nuisance taxes that we talked about, the COVID levy, the e-levy, and the betting tax, and all those obnoxious taxes. Yes, and the finance minister has already served notice that in his budget, this budget that you produce somewhere in March or April, we see the evidence. Right. They say that the evidence is better than an oath. Right. So you will see it reflect in the budget. Right. That so President Mama, we in the NDC, when we say this thing is a mail, we are holding it by the balls. Right. President Mama delivers what he promises and promises what he delivers. And so clearly, this is not a government. Ghanaians will see the qualitative difference, like they are already beginning to see. Right. Qualitative difference between a hopelessly uninspiring government and a government that will reset the country and bring back prosperity and smiles and laughter on the faces of Ghanaians.
Thank you very much. Saka, let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you.
The ministerial nominees, are you impressed so far, so good?
Well, I mean, because of my friendship with some of them.
Because?
Yeah.
Aside that,
I'm happy, but
competence.
But in terms of competence, I don't think that they would do anything different. Also, to be honest with you, I mean, for instance, Alormasor was saying that the drill, the majority leader, that's Atufosun for 5 hours. 5 hours was too small. You know, if you compare what the period of his vetting as compared to the other finance ministers in the past. Wait. Kenneth Olata was vetted for like 2 days. 2 days. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, he was vetted for 2 days.
2 days.
I'm
telling you.
What 2 days are you talking about?
Just you have your phone. Google and find.
48 hours.
I'm telling you.
He was vetted
1 day could not suffice.
And he brought us that shambolic paper.
Yeah, so it is not about because it's not about no. You see,
it is simply
you see when you talk about shambolic words.
Anyway,
shambolic words.
And he took us to the
don't even go there.
After the 48 hours,
don't go there.
It took us to the highness.
Don't go there. But why? Then you see when MPP came, we were already in that. This John Mahama that is preaching to the high heaven.
Please, he's the
when
president.
we came, he has already decimated the economy to the extent that he has to go to the IMF for salvation. I mean, that time, unlike this time where COVID took us to IMF, that time there was nothing like COVID. His mismanagement and incompetence led us to the IMF. Please. When you were talking, I was writing. You see.
You now let the
Yeah, I let the before coming to me. You see, this John Mahama that is praising everywhere. I mean, that for Ghanaians. You see, That's the reason why the mama said that they have short memories.
He didn't say that.
He said so.
He didn't say that.
What did he say?
He never said that.
What did he say? He said people will see you as a liar. Even though me, I believe. No, he never said. He never said that. You see, people will see you as lying. Even though me, because you are a Muslim, today being Friday. No. But you see, I'm shocked that you are saying Mama didn't say that.
He didn't say that. You are taking.
He said that Ghanaians have short memories, and because look, Ghanaians decided that let's vote for the NDC. It doesn't mean that John Mama is an angel. All of a sudden, he's so competent. Is he not the incompetent one that we all know? All of a sudden, he is the most incompetent person on earth. He just 2 weeks ago. Give this man 1 year, and you see his true character. I mean, character is like pregnancy. No matter what you do, it will show up. We'll see it. And we know that, look, he can't share off those characters of incompetence. It will definitely show. We are talking about that he has added so much to our power generation to the extent that even we are saying that we have excess capacity. No. The excess capacity is even the reason why we have problem with our finances. You see, when we talk of excess capacity, it doesn't mean that it is like, look, you go and hire a rented car. Are you listening to me? Bless. You go and hire a rented car. Is it yours? No, I just want you to answer so that Ghanaians, I mean, people who are listening to us can answer me, can get whatever. If you go and rent a rented car and bring to your house, is it yours?
Are you going to rent?
Oh, just ask.
Eventually pay for the car.
I said rented. I didn't say you will pay for it. I said if you go and rent, is it yours? Oh, wait. Is it yours? It's not yours. If the fuel and the car finish, then you go and rent another one with fuel and come. Is that one also yours? I'm asking you. So if you rent so many cars, and then the cars too, they say that whether you use the car or you don't use the car, and you will still pay for the rent. So you have given an excess. Oh, please, can you let me talk? Oh, please.
Say the right.
Please. I am not going to say what you want me to say. You see, we have independent power producers. We sign contracts with them. Those independent power producers, they are not government of Ghana's properties. They are independent people that we sign contract with them. So why would you go and sign or rent a car, knowing very well that you don't even need the car? That's the excess capacity that we are talking about. It's not like as if John Mahama had gone to install capacities all over the place that belong to Ghana. It is that we have signed a contract with independent power producers which contract we have to pay whether we use or not. And mind you, our peak demand do not need all the independent power producers. That's what we call excess capacity. Don't come and sit here and pollute the listeners and let them believe that, and let them create that impression that your mama installed so much capacity. No, that is not the case. I'm saying that he also said that Charles has not found their voices and all that, because they found their voices because the incompetent one has come. Look, the first day that they took over, Judge Dapa was saying that, we have 5 hours of power left, a fuel left. When he came for the vetting, he said, send power 23 days. And then he said that it was the media that, misquoted him.
Yes,
that's what he said. Please, let me talk.
The 5 hours was for, what do we call it? It wasn't.
HFO.
Listen. Nobody said you were not sitting there. Listen. He said it's the media that misquoted him.
That you were talking about the 5 hours for the HFO fuel.
But is the HFO fuel alone that we use? Please. It's like
you must be honest to the truth. Don't do
it's
that.
Like somebody saying that.
Don't do that.
We only have like you have a Fanta and Coke and Sprite. All of this can do the same thing. Am I lying? you can drink it as minerals. And somebody come and say that, oh, Ghanaians, we only have 5 hours of Fanta left in the fridge. Meanwhile, you have Coke, you have Sprite that can serve the same purpose. No, listen.
Look at this.
Listen, that can serve the. You still have Fanta and Sprite in the fridge that can serve the same purpose. So why are you saying that we are going to doom so because SFO is left with only 5 hours?
You don't know that I have an effect on the generation capacity.
You don't even know that. What are you talking about?
You don't even know this basic elementary fact.
You know energy. You don't know that.
That's a heavy fuel. Has a decent contributing to the energy grid.
So maybe you don't know this. Maybe you don't even know it.
You are selling your.
Maybe you don't even know it. Maybe you don't even understand what you are talking about. I am saying he was lying, and why is it that up to now that doomsday hasn't occurred? Even though 5 hours of SFO was what he was talking about. So I'm saying that if you have such people ruling you, you can never have peace. I'm saying all the things that they said, that the number of ministers. Look, it is not about ministers. I have always been saying it. He said that the NDC government, number of what did he say? He said the leaner government ever. The leanest government ever in the Fourth Republic. Yes. He is still forming his government. You cannot sit here. Listen. You cannot. He is still forming his government. He has not finished forming the government. Oh, can you let me talk? He has not finished forming the government. And government is not only about ministers. Government has to do with all the structure of government. It has to do with the number of staff, presidential staffers. It has to do with the number of other structures that you created to govern and all that. So it is not only about, oh, I have reduced ministers. Look at the fishery sector like this. They have divided into 3. In another government, it was divided into 2. If you go to other, look at the number of minister for communication at the presidency, all manner of positions that is creating. All manner of. Come on. It is not about. You see. It is not about. Please let me finish. Let me talk. He is still forming. He hasn't finished.
Masak, I'm surprised that you are talking and then someone is saying.
He is still forming. I'm saying that he is still forming.
An enterprise, you gain notoriety in engaging.
I'm saying he is still forming. How can you have somebody like a presidential advisor on what 24-hour economy? It is tantamount to ministerial position. We have presidential advisor on legal matters. So is he was a minister for health? I am saying we will put all these things together. We will put all these things together. Ministerial advisor, senior government advisor. Look, let me land with this particular one.
No, your time is
let me land with this particular one. I beg you. Let me land with this one.
You spend time and distorting my lesson. Now you have time to work.
Listen. NDC think they are wiser than anybody. Do you know the position of a senior minister position? Do you know what senior minister does?
What does he do?
The position of senior minister. I've always said that under the MPP is so genuine, so blunt to the extent that. No, I will explain. To the extent that you see, the position of senior minister is a government. Senior presidential advisor. That is the position. Under the NDC, it was PV Ovin that was holding that position.
He so rest in peace.
And I think Alai Mame Disu also had it under Ronnie's regime. When the MPP came, we gave that position as senior minister.
Osafo
Mafo. First it was JH Mensah, then Osafo Mafo. And I was telling my people that, look, NDC, because of propaganda, they don't want people to say that their ministers are many. This senior minister thing, they will remove it and put senior presidential advisor there. That's the reason why our second term senior minister Yosef Mafu still remain in his old office with old.
Thank you very much.
Let me finish.
No. I won't let you finish. I'm sorry. Your time is up.
He still remain in that office.
Please turn off Saka's microphone. Thank you very much. Saka, thank you, Saka. Thank you. Right. Dr. Ramsey, let's hear from you. You have 10 minutes.
Right. It's because of this misbehavior they will stay in opposition.
Don't worry.
Allow.
Yes, I must congratulate all the 6 ministers that have been approved. Coming from the Akufo-Addo regime, I mean, suffering greatly from the incompetence of this Eswa Akufo-Addo regime, I think that there's a lot of expectation from the people of Ghana in this administration. Bless, one of the key ministries that was introduced, which I see as, I would say, an initiation of hope for the youth on theory and on principle, is the creation of the Ministry for Youth Development and Empowerment, which will be led by Honorable George Opare-Addo, aka Pablo. I have been at the forefront of youth development on the global stage. I remember in 2019, I was a board member for the initiation of the creation of the China Africa Innovation and Cooperation Center, which is currently headquartered in Wuhan, China. And part of the framework, we created a framework where we could see how best we can leapfrog the youth of Africa in entrepreneurship, innovation, and some form of capacity development, which is very, very critical. And so what my expectation so far is to see how best we can be able to reduce the large youth unemployment in this country, which is standing at 1.9 million people, unfortunately. And I want to see some pro-youth policies, right, in terms of entrepreneurship. If you look at the current state of our macroeconomy, right, it's not looking well, especially when you take interest rates on loans. I mean, a youthful person who has a very brilliant business idea comes out of school, bless, and you go to the bank and you don't have any collateral and you are met with an interest rate of up to 35%. I mean, it's not sustainable for business. If you look at Ghana, our annual domestic capital to SMEs, it's about 12.3%. The sub-Saharan African average is about 35.8%. So we are doing even less than 20, more than 20% less than the sub-Saharan average. If you even look at the non-performance in loans, we are doing about 24.6%. So collectively, our macroeconomic environment does not support youth development in this regard. And so I want to see some form of reforms from the finance minister, and then that of the minister in charge of youth development and empowerment is very, very crucial. And part of the vision I want to see in our tertiary institution is the creation of business incubators, right? If you go to the Silicon Valleys, right, across the world, and notably that of the United States, a lot of these tech hubs have incubators that nurture the talents and then the potential of young people, right? We should see that here, because I believe that, you know, there are two types of students. There are those that leave school and want employment, and that there are those that can actually create the employment. If we tackle those that can create the employment, they can be able to drag in those that are looking for employment that have already graduated from school. And that is the model China is using, right? Today, if you look at the orientation of our economy, we are highly dependent on imports. So we have to be strategic in looking at what we import, how then we can support our young people to drive our ability to reorient this economy from an import-oriented economy to an export-driven one, which is very, very crucial. And we want to see some form of capital flow towards youth development. We talk about youth development theoretically, but on the reality, it's not there. And that's why I say that, bless. If today a ship is placed at Mahabo, right, and you announce to the whole general public that there's a free passage to the United States, come and on board the ship, I'm not sure you would even see a dog in Ghana. Bless.
So you will go.
I'm not sure you even see a dog in Ghana.
Saka himself will go.
Oh, Saka will go. Oh, he would be the navigator. 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 He would be the navigator.
He said he's not even dog will remain.
So he would be the navigator. So bless. You know, oh, Saga, I'm on the floor.
So you are saying
you will be the navigator. No, you can't tell me I have 4 minutes while the Saka is interjecting me. You are not being today, blessed. I must say that you are not being fair to me. No, it's not always. Today in particular, you've shown me. You've shown me. Anyway, so I believe that in terms of youth development, it's at the core of the dreams and aspirations of the NDC government, and I want to see them succeed in this regards. I mean, if they're able to promote an inclusive governance system, of course, they can attract a lot of talents and ideas from all walks of life that can be able to support their government. I mean, as their council say, I dream back when any or back for team, to which nobody has the monopoly of wisdom or knowledge, right? And so I want to see that reforms. When we come to the energy sector, Honorable John Jinapo, definitely I think that he was one of the ministers that I would say, some strong applause for him with the way he was able to answer the questions and the solutions he had for our energy sector. I mean, we want to see Ghana go clean, efficient in terms of our energy source. Today, currently, 57% of our electricity is produced by thermal power plants, which, I mean, Dubik Mahama, in his interview with Joy News, reiterated the aspect of forest risk in affecting the revenues of ECG and even the pricing of electricity. And I want to see the inclusion of nuclear power plants, right, that can give us clean and efficient energy. And today, you know, the Bretton Woods institutions have allocated huge chunks of funds and funding to projects that would decarbonize our atmosphere. And so we want to see Ghana move towards a clean, sustainable energy solution so that we can have cheaper energy to power our industrial ambition and agenda to ensure that Ghana builds a self-sufficient and resilient economy. And also to add to that, you know, the MPP government signed a take-or-pay agreement with 6 IPPs, right, under the regime of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and then that of Akufo-Addo. You quite remember we lost a compact, the Millennium Challenge Compact from the US, where the PDS scandal was inherent. I mean, you sign an agreement where you change the condition precedent to a condition subsequent, where an insurance guarantee was fraudulent from the Middle East. They used a fraudulent company to fund this deal. And I'm surprised Saka will be here.
The same people
I mean, Saka will cover what? Where's the money? Where's the money? It's gone. Then
the US government
then the reallocation of America, the American plant, the reallocation of American plant. How is it that, and I want to understand the mathematics here. I transport an energy plant from Turkey to Ghana and it cost me $5 million. Yet the same thing is transferred from the Western region, right? To the Ashanti region, and it costs $35.6 million. I want to understand this mathematics. I want to understand this mathematics. I want to understand this mathematics. And so you did not add even a single megawatt. You did not add. This figure is even coming from ASEP. This source is from ASEP. Oh, please let me land. Oh, bless. Let me land. You are interjecting. I want to understand the mathematics why the transfer of Ameri to Kumasi costs 35.6, and I want the OSP to investigate this. It has to be investigated. And then lastly, bless, on the African issue, I think that as a Pan-Africanist, I feel highly melancholic to hear Saka say that the Francophone countries are better off having their central banks in France than they have an absolute financial independence. I mean, I feel highly, I do not subscribe to that. I do not subscribe to that. And
I gave each one of you 10. I need to read some messages from our cherished viewers, I beg you. Alasan Yusuf, watching live from Tamale, Sagnarigo. I'd like to extend my warmest greetings to Honorable Saka, please. Saka. I'd like to extend my warmest greetings to Honorable Ibi Efuseni, our development-oriented former MP. The people of Sagnarigo will forever be grateful for the remarkable progress made during his tenure, including achieving 100% electricity, 90% potable water, and over 60% increase in schools within the constituency. May Allah richly bless him for his selfless service. Good morning, bless. Yusuf from Sagnarigo sent this. Nazir Muhammad says Saka has not changed. It's a type of lies and arrogance that brought them the massive defeat. The MPP also signed the same take-or-pay agreement. If they had sense, they would have made use of the excess capacity. It was intended to put the necessary structures to export the excess capacity. MPP didn't have the men to implement this forwarding ideas. Enoch Lati says, good morning. Please tell the MPP man that with what he's saying, he should go back to free SHS to learn more. Okay.
What? You know that
Steve says Saka is being haunted by the electoral defeat. MPP, after collapsing the economy for 8 years, they want kinky price to reduce when their economy is still having, their bad economy is still having effect on us. MPP never again. Edward Dugbaza says Saka Salia, President Mahama has performed better than all the Matimehu leaders of Buzia, Kufuor, and Kufuor put together. GM no side. Shukura Asani Akime says, who brought Saka here? You brought Saka here. Sef Askuma says, the esteemed regional minister designate should focus on her education rather than the political appointment. I cringed yesterday while watching her vetting on TV when she repeatedly said, I did already stated. Okay, right. This, I mean, English is not our language. You can pardon those things. The fact that she used a verb, exactly. The fact that she used a verb in the past after using did. I think the rule is that once you use did, your next verb must always be in the present. And I mean, sometimes it's a mistake.
Just said even explain.
Yeah.
You said did explain.
Yeah, did explain. Yeah.
If a president keep on, attributing some other presidency into Ghana. You remember your mama in 2012?
Saka, I'm not listening. He said, 16 ministers would help Mahama. He should apologize and increase it. I think you're marking by his presidential. Oh, please. 16 ministers won't help Mahama. He should apologize and increase it. I think you're marking. But his presidential candidate, Dr. Baumia, promised 50 ministers. Why is this micro-minority leader trying so hard to be relevant? That's very interesting, by the way. I'll do some more messages. Honorable Timothy Awonterim Atabwade is doing the watching. He extends.
Honorable Timothy to us.
He extends. Yesterday he sent me some messages yesterday. I was unable to read them. He's not happy about that. And so this morning, Honorable Awonterim Atabwade, good morning to you.
He has to be appointed.
I agree. Right. To some more messages, my time is up already.
Yes,
but
can you
please,
imagine? The free SHS beneficiary.
I beg you.
They claimed
it was 5 million. It was 3.05. That's true.
How can you insult
Right. My time is up. My time is up. Gentlemen. So my time is up. 3 more messages. Good morning, bless. Good morning, bless. Microphones off. Good morning, bless. Honorable ABF Husseini. Why are you wasting your Juma energy on Saka? Unfortunately,
you guys gave us a 3.05. That is what you did.
Good morning, bless. Please, gentlemen. I beg you. Good morning, bless. Honorable ABF Husseini. Why are you wasting your Juma energy on Saka? Unfortunately, Saka wasn't born at the days of the Alliance comply orders. He wouldn't have been screaming for the MPP. No matter what. Okay, aliens. He said Alliance. Good morning, blessed. To be frank. Okay.
And I want to correct some other thing. In the military, you don't say Colonel.
Retired?
Colonel.
Latte?
Retired.
You don't mention that.
Okay.
You don't retire the rank.
Okay, but it's a person.
So you've got the full name.
Before they retired. Right. Thank you so much. My time is up. I mean, Emmanuel Lavari said he was watching us from Sierra Leone. And so when we say that, we are in,
you should eat humble pie and go home.
When we say we are in 46, when we say we are in 46 other African countries, we are not just saying it, we are truly there. In several African countries, you can find us.
It's a new development because it's a Pan-Africanist television. I have to state it. I mean, Ghana is ranked second in terms of security, and I must commend the IGP, Dr. George Okufu Dampare, and his leadership in ensuring the peace and security of that if President Mahama will retain Dampare has done a great job. The IGP has done a great job, so he has to be retained.
I'll see you on Monday. Tomorrow is Alaji. Make sure you do well to join Sena Numbo and the team from 9 a.m. to 12 midday. Do have a pleasant morning. Bye-bye.